Have you ever faced a frustrating error while working on your Flask API? If so, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into a common issue that many developers encounter: the type error stating that an object of type response is not JSON serializable. I completely understand how annoying it can be when you're trying to send data to Elasticsearch and you hit a wall with an error message. It can feel like you're stuck in quicksand, right? But don't worry, we're here to sort it out together. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user recently encountered a type error when posting new data with Postman. The error message reads, "Object of type response is not JSON serializable." Sound familiar? Let's break it down and find a solution. So, what could be causing this error? Essentially, it happens when you're trying to return a Flask response object in a way that Flask's JSONify function doesn't understand. We'll walk through the code to pinpoint the issue. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how to fix this error, but also learn some best practices for working with Flask APIs. To resolve the type error regarding the response object not being JSON serializable, the user should first identify where the error occurs in the post method of the APC class. Next, the user should modify the error handling in the post method. Instead of returning the errors using JSONify, they should create a JSON string and return it as a response object. After making this change, the user should test the API again using Postman to ensure that the error handling works correctly and that the API responds as expected. Finally, the user should ensure that all other response messages in the post method are also formatted correctly as JSON strings before being returned as response objects. Fun fact, did you know that the first web API was created in the late 1990s? It was a simple way to allow different applications to communicate, and look how far we've come since then. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user encountered a similar issue and found that the problem stemmed from using JSONify twice. They suggest avoiding nested JSONify calls, which can lead to serialization errors. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative solution provided by a user suggests simplifying the post method. They recommend using the request.getJSON function to retrieve the JSON data directly and then returning it using JSONify. Now, let's see a response from a different user. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests converting the response to JSON format. They recommend first calling the response's JSON method and then using the JSON dumps function to serialize it. Here's a pro tip. Always ensure that the data you return from your API is in a format that can be easily serialized to JSON. This will save you from many headaches down the line. And there you have it. You've learned how to fix the type error in your Flask API. Remember, coding is all about learning from mistakes. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.